We are Bryce and Jen, newbies to building and, well, cabin life. Come join us as we figure out how to move a shed onto our property and see just how much we wing it on home projects.
We found a mistake here. The log twisted inside of the block.
That's what we're gonna tell ourselves. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Every time we make a mistake, it doesn't really matter.
No one's gonna zoom in and look at that, right?
I'm not a math genius, so I'm just gonna say, good job.
I'm not a math genius either. This is seat of our pants stuff.
So take the journey to see if we learn any meaningful life skills.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
You do not have to be good. Even the best of us have been misunderstood. So get up on your feet. The sun is shining, repentance through the leaf. Its rays will wash you clean. I'm walking slowly, I'm taking my time. All I like are talking, starting to run. Letting go of lonely, letting go of strife. I just can't get enough of this beautiful life. I just can't get enough of this beautiful life.
Welcome back. It has been a month since we posted our last video, and I think a couple or more months since we actually filmed something that we posted, because the last things that you would have seen were the end of June, and it is now September 14th.
I absolutely can't believe it's been this long.
Yeah, we just had endless guests from the bachelorette party until we left up to getting married. And then after that, we had more guests up until we left to have our reception. So it has just been crazy. But to catch you up, we did get married. Woo!
We did it!
And we're gonna show you a little bit more detail in a different video. We just figured that would be more special.
We drove all the way to Silverton, Colorado, and did the Ice Lakes hike with our best friends, Amy and Caleb. You've seen them in a lot of videos, and got married at the top. It was a pretty intense 8-mile round trip hike. We had to carry all our wedding gear. It was exquisite. I can't think of any other word. It went amazingly. It was such a fun time. And then from Colorado, we drove all the way back to Wisconsin. I got a midlife crisis purchase. And then from there, we drove all the way back to our hometown of Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, we're in Fargo!
Had our wedding reception and then came back to Wisconsin. And now finally, we've been able to rest a little bit in the wake of all that craziness.
We have a 1-year-old boxer now. Cecil had her first birthday on September 6th.
How cute this is.
So
I'm sure Candace feels tortured. She's like a little brindle blanket.
But now being back and finally getting to settle back into the cabin, we have a lot of projects to take you along on that we're really excited to really put more love back into our home. And I do have one question. We're trying to reconfigure the cabin space, and I have been taking so many hours to research rugs. So if you have any suggestions on any type of rugs that have worked for you, we've been looking into jute rugs, but also that scares me for the fact of it shedding or if they're a little too coarse. If you have any website suggestions, we are all open for that because that will cut down my time on searching for rugs.
But we haven't been able to find anything that we like, and we've now purchased several rugs that are too light and slide around, even when you put down that kind of tacky stuff underneath them. And so, yeah, any suggestions would be awesome.
Yeah, but on that note, let's get to work. So the first task on our list today is to clean the van. It is in desperate need of it. since we're back in the van, I thought I'd give you a little more insight into our trip to Colorado. Number one, this is the reason why I love having a van, is because we get to have a portable home with us, really for any trip we go on now. But taking it to Colorado this time was just something so special. On our way to Silverton, we decided that we were gonna take the $1 Million Highway. I don't know if any of you have heard of it or been on it, but it is a stretch of road that goes through Ouray, which is the most picturesque mountain town I've ever seen.
Whoa!
I'm in shock and awe.
He's in shock and awe.
And then it takes you through a traverse, through a canyon with epic mountain sceneries and sheer cliff drops. So I'm very glad that Bryce was the one to drive that section. I don't think we would have made it if it were me driving. But getting to do that drive was just something so special to start off our wedding week. I really felt like doing that drive and that trip really cemented the feeling like, oh, we're here to get married. Oh, there's something special gonna happen by the end of this.
I can't believe we're in America. Wow, and it's only gonna keep getting better.
Oh, okay.
I 100% recommend doing a destination wedding in an area that is beautiful. Once we got to Silverton, I had no idea that that was the town that Hard Rock 100 finishes. And then I got inspired thinking like, oh my God, I would love to do that run. And then I looked it up and I realized that I'm not an elite runner, so that will never happen in my lifetime. But you never know, stretch goals, right? After my dreams died, the reality though of getting married set in once we were in Silverton, and we got our marriage certificate at this cute little courthouse. And after we got that, we decided we really wanted to go somewhere beautiful to write our vows. So we made our way up to Velocity Basin, and wow, that was epic. And it just really set the mood and scenery for what our adventure was going to be like.
We're getting married!
It was also Cecil's first adventure hike, and I don't think she really liked it very much.
Okay, we did something stupid. It's starting to thunderstorm. We were not that far away.
As long as the hail doesn't get bigger, I think this is fine. But yeah, the thunder is scary.
Yep, I don't want to get struck by lightning.
Maybe next week, after we're married.
It's giving us false confidence because it was sunny, then it was warm, then it was storming, then it stopped, then it stormed again. So, also this is Cecil's first somewhat real hike. She was crushing on the way up, but we were just stupid parents and went at a really bad time.
But I'm really glad that we got to go somewhere beautiful to write our vows and put us into a headspace to really think about the words we wanted to share with each other. And I would not do it any other way. But after our epic ceremony day, our friends convinced us to go to Telluride because we were so close to it, and I have no idea when we're ever going to get back to that part of Colorado again. So of course, we took advantage. Thanks to our friends' recommendations, we found this epic spot on top of a hill facing Wilson Peak, which is the Coors Can mountain logo. And below our free camping spot were $20 million homes. That realm of life is something so above me that I can't even fathom what it would be like. We only had a short time in Telluride, but we did take advantage and took the dogs on quite a few walks. And we found that the town has a free gondola, which also allows dogs on it. Dog's first gondola ride! So Kane, at 9 years old, and Cecil, under 1, got to have their first gondola experience. And let's just say they tolerated it.
Oh. Telluride's so cool. I can't believe we're in a gondola with the dogs.
For free!
We just went on a walk from a gas station and ended up here. How does that happen?
Don't mind this giant pile of clothes. We've been so far behind on laundry. I don't even have excuses. It's just being lazy, I think. But since getting home, we have had such a busy time with, one, soaking in the fact, wow, we just got married.
We did it!
We did it!
Woo!
And then besides that, we had to get ready for our wedding reception because we did ours in 2 different parts where we had our private ceremony, and then the end of August we were having a wedding reception with friends and family and to celebrate with them, which I'll tell you was a good time. All while hanging out with friends and prepping for the wedding reception, Bryce added a few new things to the property, so I'll let him show you those.
What you're looking at is a midlife crisis. I just turned 40 this year, and instead of doing the standard, I'm gonna buy a Corvette thing, I bought an ATV. Technically, I guess, a UTV. So this is a 2023 Can-Am Commander, and I didn't even make it living in Wisconsin a year before we had to get one. It's really handy to have a small little truck like this around the property. That's how I kind of justify it. And there's just thousands of acres and miles of national forest land in our backyard. I've already put like 350 miles on it. It's been a blast. I'm so excited that we got this.
And this is the midlife crisis Bryce thought I needed. He gifted me a basketball hoop.
Wow! We didn't even have to redo this shot 10 times to get it. First try. See, Jen is a basketball star. She loved basketball so much that we just needed one on the property.
I'm a little rusty.
God, those are heavy. Hopefully we've introduced the Warhog to you guys by now. But anyway, it has a winch on it, and we're just gonna see if the Warhog weighs more than the building, basically, and if we can hit the brakes in this thing and pull the building off the trailer. I don't know if it's gonna work that way or not, but let's check it out. It's moving, but that was pretty scary. Just in case that cable comes back and hits me directly in the face, I'm gonna put a helmet on. This is how we make all our money for the channel, so it's very important for it to stay healthy.
Moneymaker.
Hey, it's working. lot better than I expected. It's actually coming off really, really easy. So now, I think it's probably best to try to drive the trailer out. Now it's pulling it into the dirt, so it can't really move it anymore.
Really can't get that far forward.
That give me any space? Is that working? Am I hitting a rock?
You're about to. Yeah, you're like an inch away from a rock. The bumper is.
Will it hit the bumper?
Yes, it will hit the bumper.
It's physically touching it. The tow hook is like a millimeter. Okay.
Well, I guess we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're going forward.
All right. Plan C.
Oh, yeah. Didn't know I was working so hard today. Okay, I got it. Yes, yes! It's skiing! Yes! The predicament is the boards, those wide boards it's on, are still on the ramp. The house is off.
How's that?
Just come look at it. Press is averted.
Don't lift it.
Okay. Press is not averted.
That's really heavy.
Now press is averted.
Good Lord, those are heavy.
Yes, we did it.
Whew.
Ah.
Project for another day is to try to flip this thing around. So that's not going to work very well. At least it's off the trailer.
You know, I wouldn't have wore sandals. I didn't know how involved this was going to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, it couldn't have went smooth.
This is not the right footwear for this job.
We got another building. No, we didn't just downsize to an even smaller cabin. We just got a shed for free from a friend that was gonna tear it down and burn it. Firstly, we backed up the car trailer and got it behind the building. It's almost the exact width of the building, so it made it nice and smooth to kind of just put out the ramps, put some wood down, and then we just started ratcheting it basically and pulling the whole building up. Over the course of, I don't know, an hour, we managed to get it up on the trailer. And then from there, we got it to our property and backed up the trailer and basically just pulled it off with the side-by-side. It really was putting that winch to work. From there, my neighbor Jeff came by with his Bobcat and we kind of spun the building around a few times and pushed it back into place, and here we are. So let's do that tour. I can't say I'm a massive fan of the color scheme on it, but that's something that's pretty easy to remedy. You can see on the bottom here that it's pretty rotten. This is actually the door seal, and I think snow had just been sitting. I want to say this building's maybe 20 years old, and snow had just been sitting there and kind of just rotting out the floor. And then these are some planks. I don't know if they're like laminate flooring, something that I found at the recycle center for free. And I thought there was going to be enough to cover the whole floor, and I thought that would just be so perfect. It was like a box and a half, and it's not quite enough. So I'm going to have to find that online and just order one more box.
You could see as we move up, it's in really good condition. And it's built like a house. I mean, this thing is not built like a shed. I can't get over how well built it is, really. So here's the inside. I really haven't done anything yet besides vacuum it a little bit. But yeah, look at this construction. Nice big window, love that. And I'm not really sure what it was used for. I thought maybe it was used for cleaning fish or something. I mean, this looks like a desk. Now that you got the grand tour, let's start working on the woodshed.
Okay, here's the rough plan. Okay, this is our existing building. I was wrong, it's actually 10.5 feet tall. I'm gonna put these blocks down like I was talking about, so 4 of those. Okay, and then I'm gonna take uprights, and I want the same angle of this roof, same drop, which is 1.5 feet. So I'm gonna do this one, I think, at 9 feet, and then we'll do this one 7.5. Same with these, 9, 7.5. Uprights, and then we'll do the across, because we're just making a lean-to. This will all be pallet flooring, just to get it off the ground so it doesn't absorb moisture. This is obviously where we're gonna stack all the wood in here, and then I'll do some sort of cross bracing, maybe with 2x4s or other pieces of wood, and then I will put a metal roof on this, or a tarp, or just something for this year. Yeah, that's kind of roughly what it's gonna look like in my head. This all could change, so I might be lying to you right now, but let's do it.
All right, we found a couple trees here across the road. These are all leaning, kind of in this ditch. They're eventually, if you look at them, maybe it's hard to tell on camera. I mean, they're really leaning. They're at a pretty good angle. So though I've seen them along this entire road break off and just block the pathway until someone gets a chainsaw and clears it. So I think we'll just make the 4 uprights out of birch, because there's several trees like this that probably should come down before they get too much bigger. And this is a perfect opportunity. And they're nice and straight, not too many branches. They'll make great uprights. So 13 feet. I'm just gonna go an extra foot. So I got some room to play with it there. It's like a strongman competition. Yeah, should definitely get the truck. Timber. Nice and slow. Oh, this one's significant. After measuring all the different sizes that we have, I think I'm gonna choose the 2 5s
and the 6 and the 4.5 for our vertical beams. And then I'm gonna choose the big dogs, the 7 and the 6 3/4 for the cross beams, because they're gonna have to bear the weight of all the snow, where the vertical beams aren't gonna have to bear as much weight. And then I'm gonna have to cut them down because I want them to fit in all the different little brick things that we have. So I have this template cut out. It's 3 3/4. I'm gonna stencil that onto all the ones that I'm gonna cut. And I've never done this at all, but I'm gonna try cutting them down. And then I may or may not strip the bark on these. I know that they rot a lot faster if you don't strip the bark, but they're not gonna be in the weather in the same way that they would be if they're just like laying in the forest. So maybe it won't be that bad. And I don't know how hard it is to actually just go and you know, debark birch. But yeah, either way, I'm gonna cut these down into squares, and then I'm gonna burn them at the bottom so they're kind of weatherproofed. And then we'll see if they fit in the bricks and go from there. Let's try out this Harbor Freight draw knife. I've used it one time and the handles kept coming loose, so I just tightened the crap out of them. So we'll see how it works here on the bottom. I can tell you right now, I am probably not gonna go through and do all the logs. That would take so long. Good enough for this guy. I've never tried to level out a building like this before, besides just this shed. I mean, this is a woodshed. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm trying to make it as square and level within reason as we can. Like even this 2x4 is not perfect because it kind of bows from the screws I put in it. But I figure if we get it within a degree where you just can't tell from the human eye, it'll be good enough for the materials we're gonna use on the project. So I'm really not too worried about it. We'll just adjust if this doesn't work. I mean, we're not out anything. This didn't really cost anything to build, and just time and effort, which it's been a decent amount of time and effort. And Kane's peeing. Good boy. Good enough. That'll work. So, one left.
use rock, not sand. Come on, shovel. Don't work against me, work with me. No wonder why I didn't think we're needing rock. It's hidden in the jungle ferns.
These are gonna be bright. This is the spacer we figured out. Wanted it to kind of match all the birch that we're using. I'm gonna go on the other side of the wall here and try to sink like I guess it's probably a 5-inch lag screw into it, just to hold it up.
And if that doesn't work, I'll just be supporting it.
Yeah, you're gonna stand out here
Yeah.
until we get it finished.
Yeah. It's pretty level with me here.
It's a good thing you're level-minded.
Sometimes.
All right, hold on to your butts.
Oh boy, should we play suspense music? Oh, it's Jeopardy.
I'm gonna have to kind of take a...
Suspense?
What?
Is Jeopardy music suspense?
No. I'm gonna have to kind of make a calculated guess of the distance from the side, so if I miss it...
Okay, I'll look right here. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I just always say, good job.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, you're doing a good job. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Okay, we went through. As I suspect. Ah!
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just said as I suspected.
Why weren't you putting your pressure against it?
Because I was about to tell you that it's not gonna hit the log.
It's not?
No. It'll like just tap it. Like look it. I mean, are you almost done with your screw?
There's probably another inch.
I think you have to go over.
I actually can't go over that much. Can this, hold on. Can this go back?
Okay.
Yeah, I think just put pressure here. Let's get consistent pressure. I'm gonna be pushing on it really hard. Ready?
Okay. Can I let go of consistent pressure? Okay. Well, I mean, it went in, but barely.
Well, we don't really need it to be hyper secure this way because this is gonna hold it vertically while we put it together.
Okay, I'm trusting the process.
We found a mistake here. The log twisted inside of the block, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just supposed to hold it flat and prevent rot.
That's what we're gonna tell ourselves. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Every time we make a mistake, it doesn't really matter.
No one's gonna zoom in and look at that, right? So this first log is at 7 feet. I want the same rake as this roof, and that is 1.5 foot drop. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the next one at 5.5 back here and put that into place. So we have like a hopefully similar rake. I'm gonna measure it one more time and just make sure my math's right. What are we doing right now?
I'm just trying to confess that if this goes poorly wrong in the measurement department, it's because Bryce is now trusting me with my math skills, which are non-existent. So
we used the 2x4 in advance to look at what the slope of the roof would be because I wanted to match that slope, and it looked fine. It looked fine.
I used a lot of girl math in my brain.
And then she wanted to round up. Where
Because it was 69, I just wanted to be 70.
Okay, that's
just a nice round number.
All right, we're not rounding up. We're cutting it at 69.
Okay, I'm not in charge of these projects anymore.
All right, clearly amateurs at work as always. We're gonna try to now do our 2 cross beams and then a supporting beam to cross those 2, and then we'll put in a whole bunch of supports with the random leftover pieces of wood that we have. But it's coming together.
Coming together.
Is this not what you expected?
I had no idea what to expect. I'm just along for the ride. It's
Okay.
looking good though. I like the birch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm excited to see what this looks like at the end and if it's functional.
that's the most important part is function. Let's get these cross beams on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Looks like someone's sleeping on the job. You look so comfortable.
Gonna have to overhead press this. Without knocking stuff over.
Okay.
Get ready. Got it. So it's definitely higher on this end, which is you expect because it's bigger.
But you can cut the notch to make that the size you need it to be.
Right. So that we'll have it level.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Oh, I guess I was too slow on your.
Okay, so this side is 6 3/4. And the other side is about 5. Well, 5 1/4. So it gets smaller by 1.5 inches, which is the same as that 7-inch diameter log. So we should cut this notch 1.5 inches deeper than that notch.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not a math genius, so I'm just gonna say good job.
I'm not a math genius either. This is seat of our pants stuff. It's more consistent cutting than I thought. Okay, hold on. Okay. Level enough.
What you see here behind me is another way for Bryce to do pull-ups, but more in a natural nature tone.
They haven't even seen the new pull-up bar.
We have so many pull-up bars. And I can only do one pull-up, so it's not for me.
That's why she's just getting mad. Okay.
That's all you get.
That's all I get.
I think that's what your notch gives you.
Good enough. All right, you can just hold that forever. All right, so here's the plan. I got to run to town to get leg screws that are big enough to go from the top down. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But for today, just to keep it all stuck together, I'm gonna put some of these screws in and we'll see how that goes. It should be long enough to just hold them in place.
And that's all you need.
That was not bad. That kind of went in there smooth. Got it. Link, will you come hold this side?
I think it's too short.
We'll push them together.
There he comes, just a carrying a birch. Do up do dee 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 dum dee dee doo. He looks fine, looks strong, looks strong. Wow, okay, show off.
Sit.
Yeah, and I'll put my leg up on you.
No. Stop it. What are you doing?
Well, that's a wrap for this episode. And we did make progress on the woodshed, just we didn't complete it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on some parts like the roof panels and stuff from Home Depot. So once we get those and some more 2x4s, we'll finish up that project. And I got a big load of wood coming within the next week or two. So we're going to fill it up quick.
And I'm really excited to see what it looks like for the finished project. All I'm envisioning is putting fairy lights all around it and making it glow. And then when I see it in wintertime and it's covered in snow, oh, I'm so excited.
You're really in fantasy land here.
That wood is gonna have the cutest little shed to live in. But thank you so much for your patience and waiting for our next episode. We're so excited to show you our future episodes with our wedding content and maybe even a future race.
Ooh, could be another foot race for all you runners out there.
Let's hope we can do it.
And we appreciate you guys sticking around for so much crazy stuff. We had a lot of random content that we filmed in the last month and a half that we didn't really know where to put it. So it all got crammed into this episode. So hopefully you enjoyed it.
You know, it's like a smorgasbord. All right, well, thanks so much for coming along today, and we can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.